I work for Medicaid and I am a stickler for policy, but not for the reason you think. It's not about power for me. It's because it empowers me to help people in unusual situations because I know about a rule that somebody else might not be aware of because they don't spend all their free time reading policy like I do. I had a situation like that this week where I was able to help a person get back their insurance because I knew about a rule that we don't use very often, but I knew it was there. And this is what happened. So this person had a child who turned 19, which means that that child is no longer considered part of their household. And the reason for that is Medicaid uses the IRS tax filing rules when it comes to deciding who is claimed as a dependent. Okay, so for health insurance, what that means is, let's say you have 5 kids, one of them turns 19, now you would be considered only to be supporting 4 kids. So the income limit that you can reach before you lose your benefits will actually go down. Because if you have 5 kids, you need more income, right? So you lose 1 kid, it goes down. And that kid, they go into their own household. Even if they live in the same house, they're considered their own financial household. They have their own income limit separate from their parents. There are exceptions. Full-time students, permanently disabled people, there are a few others. But for the most part, when the child turns 19, the system flags that as them being in their own household unless we have them listed as a full-time student or permanently disabled. So that's what happened. Parent lost their health care. And see, what would happen in a lot of cases is somebody wouldn't ask more questions to find out, like, is this the right decision? They would just be like, well, this is what happened. This is the policy. I was like, well, hold on. Is this kid, they go to school? No. Are they working? No. Okay, but are you claiming them on your taxes? Well, yeah. Are you providing the majority of their support? I provide 100% of their support. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can help you, right? Like, I took the time to ask the questions because I know that the IRS has a clause where if you are providing like full support for an adult child who's not required to file taxes and is not a qualifying child themselves because they're over 19, they can be a qualifying relative, right? And you can still claim them as a dependent. I knew that because I've read policy until my eyes have bled because I want to know these things when I come into these situations. So I went and I looked that up, and in the policy, it links to the IRS tax code, and I go read the section of the tax code that supports this, right? And that links to like a table basically with questions that you ask about the person who you're trying to figure out, do they count as a dependent, as a qualifying relative? So I determine that this kid does, right? And I'm like, okay, I think I can help you, but I'm gonna need you to hold for a while. So I go talk to my manager, and I'm like, hey, tell me if I'm seeing this right, but like, here's the policy, here's the tax code, here are the questions, and here's the information. I'm pretty sure that this person should have their health care because I'm pretty sure that this child should still be a dependent by Medicaid rules. And, my manager was like, hey, let me go ask the person more familiar with the tax code. Because it does look like you're right. That's different than I understood it. And they came back to me and they're like, you are right. Like, we can do that. I just learned that, which is awesome because I want to do that for people when I can. And I do have to follow the rules, right? They're law. And if I didn't follow the rules, not only would I get in trouble, but also the agency would get in trouble, and also the client themselves, they get penalized. Whether we make a mistake or they make a mistake, if they are found to be eligible when they're not, they're the ones that have to pay back the benefits. So I'm not going to do that to somebody. I'm going to follow the rules, but I'm going to make sure that I know every rule. There's 3,000 pages of rules, so it's really hard for any one person to know everything that you can do. I'm constantly learning. But when I do come across something where I have learned a thing that I know isn't common training knowledge, I'm really glad that I'm the kind of person that spends my free time at work reading policy. Because even though sometimes I do have to deliver bad news, there are a lot of situations where I'm able to go above and beyond to help people because I know the thing that I have to do and I know how to justify it. And it's perfectly legal. It's just that I know the information and other people haven't learned it yet. And I go out of my way to learn it.